Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today I'm going to do something different. Well, different for me, not different for content creators in the board game industry, because many of them do cover Kickstarters. And today I'm going to cover some Kickstarters and GameFound, but I'm going to do it in a different way. And that is to say, I'm going to mention 5 games that have ended recently or will end soon that I am not backing. I back a Kickstarter every few months, it seems, is kind of my going rate. And there's a number of them that interest me. And for whatever reason or other, I just decide not to back. And today we're going to look at some of those. So without further ado, I will take you to the first one. The first one is Encyclopedia. As you can see here, as of this recording, it's April 12th. There's about 2 days left in Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia, the game, interests me because it's a game where you're going out in history, or back in history, I should say, and you're finding things about animals, you're doing the research, and you're building the encyclopedia, as it's called. I am a history person. I like animals, so everything about that concept intrigues me. Another thing that really intrigues me about Encyclopedia is the fact that it's a worker placement game, and I enjoy worker placement games. And this worker placement game of Encyclopedia is a little different in that you roll dice, and those dice are your workers. So based on the numbers and the colors of the dice that are rolled, those are how the workers can go into play. And you're going to take your, I think it's 4, I don't know, I haven't played this game, I haven't played any of these games, so I'm going to forewarn with that. I have no knowledge base other than what I've seen online about the game already. But in Encyclopedia, you're going to roll the dice. I think you grab them randomly, so you don't even know which color they're going to be. And then you're going to place them on your player board, so that way they can be used during the round. You don't have to use your own dice. In the round, you can use somebody else's dice. And where they're placed on the worker board, let's see if I can find a picture of it here, is going to dictate a reward that the person whose dice is being taken, if it's stolen, gets. So when you're setting up your player boards, you're going to decide which dice is up there, where if somebody else takes it, you're going to get a big prize, and then which dice is going to kind of give you nothing if somebody else steals it. So that goes into play. It really intrigues me. I like I said, like the concept. I like everything about it as far as the theme goes and the gameplay. But I've got other worker placements I like, and the price level here at €49 isn't something up my alley per se. Not that I wouldn't spend that kind of money on it, but I think there's nothing that draws me to needing to get it now. There's no Kickstarter exclusives really, other than a few extra cards, and that's not enough in my opinion. So I would love to play this game sometime in the future, but I'm not going to spend my money on this game, Encyclopedia. But here it is for you on Kickstarter for the next 46 hours, which means it's probably past by the time you see this video. But it might have a late pledge, so if you come and you can late pledge for it and get it, or you can wait for it to hit retail, because I don't think this one's going to change much in value either way. But I might be wrong. I don't know that much. All right, the second one I'm going to look at, Age of Rome. Age of Rome is another one that ends real soon, 65 hours to go as of time recording. And it's doing really well. It's another historical-based game. Again, I like history. In this one, you're kind of in charge of a Roman hierarchy, I guess, a part of the Senate, I believe. And you're going to place workers. So it's another worker placement game. But this one's different in that you see this wheel here in the middle of the board. That's going to spin, and you can only place your workers on the section that's in front of you. So that's going to limit your actions, and you're going to have to think about what actions you're like putting in place, because I believe you can put whatever goes on the board as an action into sectors, and then as it comes around, you can place your workers on what's been played. So lots of decision making for just a quarter of the board at a time. That really intrigues me. The components look really good. There's a lot of Kickstarter exclusives in this project, unlike Encyclopedia. It looks like it's very well made. I really like the rondel, or the wheel in the middle that drives basically the action. There's a lot that intrigues me about this game, but not enough for me to pull the trigger at, I believe it's 69 or so euro, so closer to 80 American dollars, plus the shipping and everything for a worker placement with pizzazz. It's a lot of pizzazz. It is intriguing to me, and I would love to play it, but I don't think I need to pull the trigger on this one, so I have not pulled the trigger at this time on Age of Rome. But it does interest me, and I would enjoy playing it. I think I've said that like 1,000 times. Very repetitive here. Gizmo board games. But yeah, it looks fun, looks great. I would love to try it, but I'm not backing this. And did I show the price level? I don't remember. It's down here, 69 for the base, and then 99 for the all-in. A little more than I'd want to spend on this project, and I'm just not going to at this time. All right, the next project, and the one that has the most time remaining, is Aldarra, or Aldarra. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's got 16 days to go, so it should be available still when you see this video. If you're interested in it, look at these big ship minis. those look great. Everything about this looks fun. And it's a 4X game. That's exploration, exploitation, extermination, and some other EX word I can't recall offhand. But basically, it kind of replicates a video game style of play, where you're going around like turn-based and you're trying to control certain sections of the board. You're building things here and there and sending workers out and men out and whatever the case is. I don't know a whole lot about it other than that. I don't have much of this style of game. I don't think I own a single technically 4X game, as you see there. So it would definitely be something new to my collection. So that aspect intrigues me. It's got all these great colorful miniatures that really excite me. Thing that kind of draws me, I believe this one had been on Kickstarter previously, and then they pulled it. I think they kind of talk about it here, and they've relaunched it with some changes, hopefully for the better. I don't know, but we'll see, I guess. But this one's got 16 days left to get it. You can get the base game with all this stuff, or it's got the expansion available with an additional backing pledge level. And the thing about the expansion, if I can get down to it here, is it's got a little bit of a theme here. It's got the aliens here, and it's got Cthulhu kind of beasts. So that's interesting. Everything about this looks intriguing, to say the least. I like the hex tiles. So the map's going to change. Different, I guess, factions, for lack of a better word, whatever they are, all have their own color and miniatures. And all that's going to add to the cost. And that's really my biggest hang up here. Just for the base game, it's $135. For some, I don't know that I'll really play a whole lot, because it seems like it's kind of an in-your-face game, and I don't play those. And the all-in $235 to get everything. It's a lot of good stuff, but I don't think it's quite for me. But it would be something new to my collection, and that part of it really intrigues me. It looks like it could be a lot of fun, and I'd enjoy playing it. But I'm not going to pitch in the money for something that I may not enjoy. And that is Aldarra, or Aldarra. All right, the last two from the 5 games that I didn't back, or am not planning on backing, is the first one is Mind MGMT, and this was actually an expansion because Mind MGMT came out last year. It did really well. It was highly praised. It's a one versus mini game, so one person has their own objective, and everybody else is trying to figure out or stop them from getting their objective. And that's interesting to me for sure. I've heard a lot of great things about this. It's kind of a spy espionage game, as it says on the cover there. Just all these great reviews from other board game reviewers. And this was the expansion. It's now closed. I think you can late pledge it. I don't remember. I scrolled past that. But yeah, you could late pledge it still as of this recording. And I thought about getting in on it after all the high praise to get the base game and the expansion. And the reason I kind of didn't is because I've already backed a game called Beast, which I'm waiting for to arrive, which is another 1 versus mini style game. And I felt like I didn't need to be sitting waiting on 2 at the same time and then hoping either are good. So maybe I'll check this out in the future. Maybe somebody else can get this one that I can play, and then I'll have Beast and we can, alternate whichever for the 1 versus mini game once they both arrive. But yeah, that's basically the reason I didn't get in this. It definitely intrigues me. It looks like a real thinky style game. Trying to outwit, the group of opponents if you're the one, or vice versa, trying to figure out what the one is doing along the way. And I don't think this one was that pricey either. So, I mean, for the base game, for the expansion itself, not too bad. But to get the base game and the expansion, everything, $112 dollars Canadian, 88 USD there. So I held off on this one, mostly because I've already got another similar game on the way. And my final game that I did not back that closed recently is Earth. And this one is no longer up for late pledges, but is up for pre-order. And this game looks great. It looks a lot like games I enjoy. Again, a bunch of cards, if I could get scroll. A bunch of cards. You're building your tableau. You're using cards. You're building an engine, I think, with them, generating resources, then playing off the resources generated to build your version of Earth. And everything I've heard about this game is great. They've done a lot to tie it into the world. It looks fun, I guess, for lack of a better word. I hate repeating myself. Seems right up my alley. The one thing that kind of turned me off is it looks like it could have been better produced. I don't know about the cards themselves, obviously, but like watching some of the videos, the player boards look like they're just flimsy sheet of paper, and it doesn't look like a whole lot of that has changed in this, but I don't know. But also I've got similar games to this. I've got Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, which is a similar style game. And so I just didn't feel the need to jump in on another one when I've got other games like this one, despite the fact that it really, really looks great. And I'm looking forward to definitely trying this one out and getting it on a table at some point in my life. But I don't think I need to be the one to spend the how much, what was it, $42, which isn't bad for just the game itself. And how much for the bigger version, if it's got one? I don't think it does. It's got the various languages. So yeah, it's not bad. I think I can probably get it for around $40 in the future just from retail. So that's another reason that I didn't really jump in on this one either. But it does look intriguing, and I'm excited to try to give it a chance at some point in the future. All right. And the final game, which I didn't set up here, so let me find it real quick. And the final game, which is a game that I might back, I'm really thinking about it, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet, is for Northwood. It's a little small trick-taking game, solo player, $15. It looks really cute. I play a lot of solo games, so I definitely am always on the lookout for small solo games that I can take with me wherever, whenever, pull them out. It's a trick-taking game, and I really like trick-taking games. If I can play it like spades or something like that, I'm definitely down for that if I can get a group. So it intrigues me that it's a solo trick-taking game. I'm curious to see how that works. It looks interesting. I don't know that I like the really cutesy style that it's got going on it as far as, the iconography, but that doesn't really matter to me. I'm not much someone who cares about theme and the look of the game. as long as the quality is good and the gameplay is good. That's really what I care about. So I'm really interested in this game, and at $15, I'm really thinking about backing it and giving it a try. So that's 4 Northwood, and you might see it soon on my table, depending on how I feel here in the next. I think it's got a while to go still. So 18 days left. I got a good 2 weeks to think about it, and maybe you'll see it on another review here in the future. But that's one I am still considering, mostly because it's cheap. It fits, my gaming personality right now. I play a lot of solo games, and I play a lot of group games. And for 15, what's it hurt to try it a few times? So I'll probably end up backing it, but I'm still on the fence right now about it. And then that's the last one. So let's look at 5 recent games as of April 2022 that I did not back, but I really considered backing. And one that I'm still considering at this moment that intrigues me that I probably will end up backing, but I haven't pulled the trigger on yet. And if you like what I have presented here, maybe give me a like. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of video. I'm trying things out. I want to see what you guys are interested in. So I'm trying a variety of different approaches, whether it's reviews or just conversations, or just my thoughts on things, or look into what's around on the Kickstarter, etc. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. I'm trying to do this for you to have information as much as for me to just share with myself a little bit. But if you like what I have, please give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you next time. Thank you.